Hi, my name is Cecilia Fox, and that is my new segment called Art Sandwich, in which I eat dinner with you, and I'm going to talk about my art practice and reflect on some art topics. So I don't know what other grown-ups eat, but I can't cook, so I'm personally eating grapes for dinner. So I'm also placing myself up for adoption if somebody wants to feed me and stuff. Mm, so yeah, in general, how was my artistic process this week? Mm, yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know. I felt quite chaotic and all over the place, and I couldn't finish the stuff that I planned to. But I think throughout the process, I kind of also learned to accept to go with the flow with art and just see where the art takes you and not set so strict rules for the art. Um, yeah, I always struggle with that part because big part of my artistic practice is staring at the ceiling and not doing anything. And I also think that if I would ever become art professor, I think that would be my main thing, that I would teach people how to meaningfully stare at the ceiling and how to be fine with it. Because yeah, this week I really felt I caught myself on a thought that I said oh, I wish. And I'm saying, okay, it's really so contradictory, but I also caught myself in a thought that I wish I would have a diarrhea, because then I could sit still and relax, because I felt so chaotic in my head. And when I feel chaotic, then I just sit still and stare at the ceiling. But then I also kind of oftentimes get my best ideas. And and also like, and that is also something with a great ideas. Sometimes you get an idea and it feels so great, and it feels you get so excited, and you but then there is also this feeling that you get scared, or that you start talking yourself out of this idea. And right now I really had one idea that I was really excited about, and that I wanted to do at summer, and that I'm that involves other people and stuff. I want to be secretive about it, but now I'm really in this process of talking myself out of it. So I'm really curious, where does it go? um I think also okay, one of what was my success of my artistic practice. I think one of the things that I really discovered for myself was that I learned to use a Google Forms. And I was just so blown away, because I have never I work a lot with making questionnaires and systems and stuff, but I never knew that I could uh, make things so much simpler. So that was also something that I was experimenting with. I realized that there's already 4 projects that I'm working on that I could use the Google Forms for, to really kind of, mm, for example, with the lecture that I'm working about, the cure for art education, then I can check the validity of my theories. So that was really a big win for this week, figuring out how to use Google Forms. Um, so in this series, I also wanted to each week highlight something that I saw or read, and that inspires my artistic practice. And in this week, I was reading the book called How to Make Art at the End of the World. It's a manifesto for research creation, and it's written by Natalie Loveless. And I think this book really gave me a lot of um, comfort, and because I think artistically, I oftentimes take inspiration from different disciplines, and then at the end I feel I don't belong anywhere and I'm not taken seriously. And this book really talked about how we should have like more openness to do these collaborations. And yeah, okay, I can't explain this book very good, but for example, one quote that I wrote down was a term like about the boundary object. So the quote is, a boundary object does things with discipline, satisfying certain of their requirements without, however, belonging properly to any one of them. And just seeing like other people working in this like interdisciplinary projects, I think it was really like eye-opening and inspiring, and I really recommend this book because it's like it really, I relate to it like in a very personal level, but I also think like that collectively like we should have more like meaningful collaborations between different like disciplines, and yeah, we should like kind of start like, I feel like, yeah, in social media there's like a echo chambers of like different ideas, but it's also exists like in academy and in different contexts. So I personally am a firm believer that we should break down this like echo chambers and start like having more meaningful collaborations and discussions. And yeah, that's why I think it's really important book. Also, yeah, like I feel I'm a bit all over the place, but also in this in my series like Art Sandwich, I wanted to also like deep dive into something like one specific topic. Um, and for this week, the topic that I wanted to dive in is I wanted to. So I was also mentioning that in Instagram that I wanted to reflect on my essay that I wrote like 10 years ago when I applied to art academy, and just to like reflect and see if I think about things differently 10 years later or not. And I think for me, like in some ways this was really shocking, so I will gonna share this experience with you. So yeah, so the essay topic was like why I want to study art. And then as the first sentence I say, and also like I translated with Google Lens, so like it has some mistakes in it, but I try to do my best to like correct it. So in a first statement, I described that how many acquaintances of mine like look at me when they ask me why I want to study art, and they often look at me as if I have signed my own death penalty. And thoughts running through their heads are how I'm going to make money and what will become of me and why should I want to learn art. And yeah, for me, like it's like so shocking that like that I already felt that art is like signing my own death penalty and I still wanted to do it. And for me, it's also shocking that it's somehow like a good thing to like, I don't know, like in some ways I really feel like that I want to like sue my like art academy to like even accepting me like in art academy and not sending me to like a mental hospital, because like um yeah, I don't know, like I also looked some like old works back, and for me I felt like art was really like my like trauma response, and that's why like I think I have a lot of conflict of this like art and suffering, and I wish that art would be like a, that it would be fun to make art, or that there would be not so much like connotations with like suffering. But yeah, so in the first chapter I talking about how one of my relative like tried to convince me to not study art, and how I was passionately want to study art since I was 15, and she was bringing me like some brochures of other universities and like questioning me how I'm gonna make money. And then I say like how like money is not important, and um, how you can like earn money in other ways. Yeah, this I'm also just, yeah, personally now I really find like money is important, and I'm just so tired of this like suffering artist mirrors and having too many morals and blah blah blah. This I'm a bit tired of. Mm. So then is the chapter about that people found it weird, like that I want to study art because I don't know. Here I claim that my strong point was science, which I'm like bit like questioning. So I say it seems to them that for me, like studying art is like taking easy way out. They think I live in some delusion, thinking that profession of artist is all fun and flowers, when in fact I know that as artist I may not have a stable job, and the question how to make living is always in the air. In the art world there is also intense competition. Some of the artists survive and some are pushed aside. It can often be difficult to deal with disappointments and accept failure. Yeah, for the last 10 years I have failed so much that, yeah, I don't even want to fail anymore. But what is like interesting for me is that I hear next sentences are like how I describe really enthusiastically failures, which is like so surprising for me. But I write, what I have learned throughout my life is that failure is actually essential to growth. If you don't fail, it means you sit in a comfort zone, don't take risks, and always go for it. But if I fail, it shows that I'm capable of development, willing to try new things, and have great potential to achieve something later. Um, yeah, I mean, looking like back like 10 years and how much I have failed, like I really don't want to fail anymore. But I am kind of surprised, like how I could 10 years ago already be enthusiastic about failure. So yeah, I think it's a bit interesting. And in the last chapter, I talk about how some like how my family like supported me as a like like with my some crazy art projects. And for example, here is example. When I was younger, my mother and I did crafts, drew and painted. For example, when I had the idea in a bath as a kindergardener that I would like to paint on a bathroom wall, my mother brought me a paints and allowed me to do it. So yeah, I think this is really like cute example because yeah, like I was as a child like in a bath and I was like, okay, I want to paint the bath walls, and then you have to like wash it off later. So I think that is like a bit cute. Um, and yeah, and the last statement of the essay is like, I can spend rest of my life hearing that I'm stupid for going to study art, and I can work for low wages all my life, and that's the risk I'm willing to take to follow my heart. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't want to fail. I don't want to be suffering, and I want to be rich and not struggle with money. So I think like as an artist, we should have like a new mantra. And the mantra for this week is I am a rich and happy artist and I don't fail. I am a rich and happy artist and I don't fail. I am a rich and happy artist and I don't fail. Just repeat after me, and this is how you become an artist. Um, yeah, thank you so much for listening my episode. Like I feel like I was very like all over the place and a bit chaotic today, but I really also for the last like months, like I really have felt like that I want to make like my artistic process also more like visible part of my like art practice, and just also having more like spontaneous and um, easygoing things. So like yeah, I hope you liked watching this episode, and if you would like to see another like art sandwich, then please subscribe to my channel. Love you guys, thank you for watching.